Good morning, everybody. Diego Martinez, candidate for governor of California. I'm going to give it a little bit of time here, let a couple more people hop on, and we'll get going here. So elections around the corner. Getting some people to hop on here on the other, on the other feed. Once we get a few people going, we'll start talking about today. I kind of hopped on a little early today because I kind of got to leave about 5 minutes till. So this one will be over actually 5 minutes to 10 today. Can't stay very much longer than that. I got a few things to talk about today. Elections here. What I mean elections here, we know September 14th is when the final election day is. But the ballots are out and people are getting them at home. So who are you voting for? What are you doing? What do you think's going on with the ballots? Before we get talking about the election and what's going on, I was just trying to kill a little bit of time here before everybody start hopping on. I got a quick house cleaning thing I got to take care of here real quick because I woke up this morning. I had a message from a young lady named Paloma. I don't know who she is. Never met her. Apparently, she saw my interview with Oscar Del Blue that I did yesterday. I don't know how many of you guys caught that interview, but if you guys didn't, it's on Facebook or my YouTube channel. Take a look at it. Oscar Del Blue is a journalist from Tijuana. He covers the border. He covers the deportations. He covers what's really going on both sides of the border, but from the Mexico side. This young lady decided to take a portion of our interview and basically start attacking me, which I don't care. You want to attack me? Come at it. But here's the funny part about this whole thing. Her name is Paloma. I've never met her. Don't know who she is. But in her video, she said this. She doesn't know me. She admits to that. She also says that my campaign reached out to her when we were in Mexico last time. And okay, so they reached out to you. You didn't show up. Something happened. You had car problems or whatever it was. No big deal, right? And then she said, I'm trying to get a hold of him. He's dodging me. Well, I got your message this morning, and here I am. I'm not dodging anybody. And the second part of this is this. You said my campaign got a hold of you. That means you had a number to call me. So if any of you know her, if any of you guys following her, if not, we're going to forward this to her. Her name is Paloma for Trump. Check this out, Paloma. My phone number, 559-707-0756. That's the number to the office. Call it at any time you like. You're more than welcome to come on the show. You're more than welcome to critique me. You're more than welcome to come and say whatever you like. But I'm not hiding from you, and I'm not going nowhere. There it is. It's that simple. I send you a message this morning saying exactly what I just said. My phone number and where you can get a hold of me at. You got a question about my interview? You got a question of who I'm getting interviewed by? Come on the show. Let me go on your show. You can interview me. You can ask me whatever questions you want. I stand firm with what I say in a lot of things. And she said, be careful what you say because you can't back it. Well, first of all, you are analyzing a quote in the wrong way. Second of all, you took a piece that you said that it was about Larry Elder being a white supremacist. And Oscar actually said, this lady's a leftist, she does this, this, and this. You went back and said the same thing he did, but then you're calling him out on it. If you have a problem with Oscar, that's great. That's between you and him, and I really don't care. You guys got your own beef in Tijuana or Mexico, wherever you're at. God bless you. Let the best person win on your guys' little beef. But if you want to drag me in it, here's simple. 559-707-0756. That's how you get a hold of me. And if you can't get a hold of me that way, me and yourself a favor, go to Diego Martinez for Governor unofficial, Diego Martinez para Gobernador, Diego Martinez for Governor on Instagram or any one of the social medias. Send me an IM. I'm easy to find. Worst case scenario, you can Google me. And I tell you what, I will answer all your calls. I will answer all your questions. We could do a live so the California people can see what you're talking about, what you're not, and what you're accusing me of. Plain and simple. Life is too easy. So why bother with it? So, Paloma for Trump, you got my information. Not dodging you, not dodging anybody. While we're at this, Larry Elder, I'm still calling you out for a debate. I know you still don't want to, but I just found out something yesterday that I didn't know before. September 6th at the Hogwarts Ronald Reagan Library, September 6th, there's going to be a debate. They actually invited you there. And not only that, they have 4 of the mainstream DJs that work at your radio station that are going to be there too. Let's see if you'll show up. I couldn't find you on Facebook. Diego Martinez for governor, unofficial. Diego Martinez for governor 2020, unofficial. Will be one Facebook. My other one is DJ M. Martinez. That used to be my personal Facebook, and it kind of is a little bit of both my personal and my campaign Facebook. So any one of those, or Diego Martinez for governor. There's a fan one that somebody else runs that puts a bunch of stuff up for us. So there's 3 or 4 different Facebooks you can get a hold of me at. So if you didn't find one, look for them. If not, I'll send you an IM and I'll give you the walk in there. September 8th, Sacramento. What exactly is going on September 8th in Sacramento? I haven't received that. I know there's something that we're doing September 8th. I got to look at my calendar. It might be going to Sacramento. So here's where we're at. Larry Elder calling you out September 6th. Hogwarts political party, Ronald Reagan Library. They're inviting all the candidates. So if you guys are out there towards that area, you guys should check it out. Affordable dinner, big place where you guys can see all the different candidates out there. Hopefully they all show up. They're actually bringing candidates from both places. Jose, you want to come on? I'll bring you on, Jose. So we're going to see if Jose wants to come on. I just pushed for him to come on in on our camera. So rally for the freedom of vaccination. If I'm going to look and see who has it going on, and if I can, I will be there. Sacramento's only an hour and 20 minutes from my office, so there shouldn't be no reason if I don't have nothing else going on that I shouldn't be able to make that. Trying to make as many rallies as many places as we can. Talking about that a little bit. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be in Humboldt County, up in Eureka. Been a long time since I've been out there, but I'm looking forward to talking to the GOP and the Women's Federation that's up there. So if you guys are up in the Eureka area, come out. There's supposed to be a couple other candidates going. I'm not really sure who's all going to show up to Eureka. But for sure, I'm going to be there 5 o'clock. I think it's till 7 o'clock that I'll be up in Eureka. So I'm going to be up in that area. Always happy to stop by Lower Lake, Lake County, Mendocino County, Ukiah, all those areas up there that we've been campaigning at, because small towns, small communities still need representation, just like everybody else. And we're all the same. We're all voters. We're all California people. Have several people that will vote for you. Want to them. I will get you all. If you can't find me on Facebook, I'll send you all the stuff. Right on. Hope. See you. I hope I see you in Sacramento. Political wars. I'll look. And if I have nothing going on, I'll find out who's putting the event. And I'll see how I can connect with them and see if we can be speaking, at least in Sacramento. I like speaking in Sacramento. One of my first few places I ever spoke at was Sacramento. So let's get down to today's big thing going on, right? I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a young lady that, Common Sense Ashley, you guys had to check out her podcast. She talks about candidates, what they're doing, where they're at, and how they evaluate compared to everybody else. So there's another opinion that you guys could take a look at. Always available. I try to get you guys as much information as we can about what's going on. The wildfires right now are getting out of control. They had a fire last night in Calaveras County, which is closer to Murphy's off Pierce Ferry Road and 49. They got it actually contained this morning. It looks like it's out. So all those are a good thing. Right now, sad part, we're talking about fires up north. The fires are still going crazy. The sad part is, rumor has it that our governor, Gavin Newsom, took our firefighters out of California and sent them to Montana because the fire was getting close to his wife's ranch. That doesn't sit very good with me. They have a smaller fire, but because it's threatening his property, he has to get our firefighters to go up to Montana when we really need them here. It's not the way it should be, and we should really take an eye on that. I'm going to actually follow up on that and make sure of that's what's really going on. Question of the day. And if I have Democrats here or any other party here other than conservative people, or if you're a conservative and you know the answer to this is kind of interesting. Or if you have a ballot by you right now, I don't have one with me. I'm sitting at a park, you know. You guys ever want to see people look at you funny? Come do one of these at a park and start talking about conservative values. So here's the question. Question number 1 on the ballot says what? Question number 1 is, do you believe Gavin Newsom should be recalled? Yes or no? Here's the real question. If you vote no, do you actually get another vote? Or do you only get to vote no? I know we believe he needs to be recalled, but the question is this. If somebody could look at the top of their ballot, it might say something. If you vote no, do you get a pick just in case? If you vote yes, I know that we get to pick his replacement. Now, the real question is, if you vote no, do you also get a pick of somebody to replace him? How are you going to ensure that these elections are not fraudulent elections and that Democrats are not cheating? Political War said yes to which one? You want to write a comment, or you're welcome to come on if you have time and explain that, because I didn't read it. I was thinking about that this morning. Somebody made a comment about it, and I'm like, I don't know. That'd be something to look into. So first of all, let's be realistic. We're going to hire a governor September 14th. We have 13 months. How much can a governor do in 13 months? Okay? There's a few things that I believe I can get across with both parties helping me and actually make it key here. 1, voter integrity. I believe that the Secretary of State, because she's up for revote, to get back in her office next year, I think she'll be willing to play ball and actually clean out the voter rolls. I believe this. I also believe that I could pass where we can have voter ID, because if somebody else wins, they're going to wonder how we won. They're going to be scared that we're going to win again. So they might want to clean up the voter roll, knowing that there's more Democrats than there are Republicans in the state of California. Even though I believe both parties have failed us, and I'm hoping that the left, conservatives, believe the same thing I do and will stand behind me in our policies to try to change. So I believe that voter integrity is one thing that we can actually change. I believe that we can actually ask for voter ID in 2022. That law will pass, even if I have to do an executive order, because that's something that needs to happen. It happens in other countries, and it's pretty sad it doesn't happen here. God, that's not good today. We're also going to have armored trucks go and pick up our ballots from our voting areas. We're no longer going to let the U.S. Postal Service or John Doe do it. We're actually going to hire professional people to transport it, and we'll have a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, or whatever else, up to 4 people on there to ensure that nobody's messing with the ballots, that they go from one place to another. We have to start taking our votes serious, and we haven't been. So those are 2 things that I think I can pass. The water issue, I believe I can get handled. And when I mean handle, no, I'm not going to get all the water rights fixed and everything else. Most likely, 98% what's going to happen is I'm going to work a deal with the private industries that are having the desalination plants. And I'm going to get them to start pumping water into our reservoir, so we're not short on water. We can get the water pumping out. We can get off these restrictions. We can get the farmers the water that they need while we're working on the water rights to make sure that everybody has enough water from now here on forward. That's the 3rd thing I believe I can get handled from now till next November. I can veto everything. Okay, I'm going to veto as much as I can that doesn't make sense. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take all the mandates off, so there will be no vaccine mandates. There will be no mask mandates. Everybody will go back to work as normal. Our schools will not have to do these mandates for our kids to have masks or vaccinations. We can do those. Now, that being said, so we're not sure about renegotiation Nestler's deal on their water in Sacramento. They're going to a hell of a deal. Hold on, I can't read the rest of it for some reason. It won't let me. There it is. They're going to go a hell of a deal while U.S. citizens are paying a pretty penny. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that once they bring it up, anytime that you start bringing up changing water rights, the left is going to take me to court. I'm already expecting that. That's a good thing for us. Once they take us to court, then we can renegotiate all the deals. We can actually go to court, legislate all the deals, and get all the water rights done. That's great. That's going to take almost a year to be in court. What are we going to do during that year? We're actually going to work with the private sector, get desalination going, and get water back in our dams so we have water now, not in a year from now when we break the water rights. I'm saying that we're going to work on them, but we're going to just keep working. But there's a solution that we got to fix right now, and that's the water. We need water today, not in a year from now, not when we can re-legislate the water rights. So desalination is the easiest and quickest way to get water back into our reservoirs so we can start using water today and not in a year from now. So I'm not saying that we're not going to try to work the water rights. I'm not saying that I'm not going to fight for the water rights, and I'm not saying that I'm not willing to go there and break up where it's at right now. What I'm saying is that they're going to take me to court. That's expected. But I need a solution for today. And the solution today is desalination, getting water back in our dams, getting them pumped out so our farmers can actually start growing their full product, not just a quarter of it. I'm going to work, otherwise I would join you, brother. Yes, I think if you vote no, you should still be allowed to pick. I don't see how it would hurt the election. I don't see how it hurt, but I'm curious, because if you vote no, you shouldn't have a backup. Now, if you have a backup, that's where this is going to get really tricky, because now you have 100% of the people voting. See, if you can only vote no, and you can't vote, if you vote no, you don't get a second choice, then you only got about 63% of the people voting, which narrows the field down to who could be governor. So it's kind of interesting. Now, if you're right and they actually do get another choice, then what happens is, that's why the more candidates in the race, the more opportunity for a Republican conservative to actually be able to take office. Because I don't know too many people on the left are going to vote for Larry Elder, John Cox, or Kevin Faulconer, right? I mean, if you guys do, or even Kevin Kiley, to be honest with you. So those would hurt. Those will hurt the California people. Because if you can vote yes, like I think we just said that you can vote no and then pick somebody, those people are going to pick somebody who they associate with. And another Republican is not who they associate with if they voted no on the recall. So that's interesting. I'm going to look it up, but I think he's actually right. And I think that's why you want the most candidates possible, because some of the conservative candidates will pull the left votes and will pull everybody else. What is your stance on mandatory vaccination for children and parents' right to choose for their children? 100% parents' choice on vaccination for children. Also about medical freedom. I have to look at medical freedom just a little bit more, because I read it 3-4 different ways. This is my stance, and it probably doesn't even align with what they call medical freedom, okay? My stance on medical freedom, because I always thought we had it. Here's how I haven't really done this very much. I thought that you always had the medical freedom. You always had the right to go to a doctor. You always had the right to choose what kind of medication you got. You always had the right to choose if you went to a doctor or not. Is that not medical freedom? Or did I misread that? Because I read an article where it said you're almost socialism on medical freedom, and I didn't really quite understand what they were talking about. To me, medical freedom is you have the medical right to make a choice for yourself how you get treated. Whether it's by herbs, whether it's by doctors, whether it's by old-fashioned medical stuff, women's tales. So if somebody can enlighten me on what you guys call medical freedom, because that's what I call medical freedom. Along with that is exactly what we just talked about, vaccinations. With your own medical freedom, nobody should or be able to force you to take a vaccination or put one in your kids. So to me, that's what medical freedom stands for. I might be misreading it. And again, I'm asking you guys. I see a lot of people saying I'm about medical freedom, but nobody ever explains it. When I've asked people, it sounds exactly what I just said. So to me, that's what medical freedom stands for. That you can actually go to your own doctors. You can pick what kind of medicine you take. You can have herbs, or you can do whatever you want. The official ballots say in a red vote both sides. Okay, so it is. You can. If you vote no, you can't vote. You can pick somebody else. So that's very interesting to see. I didn't know that. I didn't read it, but thank you for letting me know that. I'm glad somebody had a ballot with them, so that answers that. Where I see it hurting us is so many Republican candidates are running compared to the small number of Democrats that are running that seem to make, to me, like our vote would be way more spread out than that. I think in the conservative side, you're probably right. We're going to split that 22%. But I also believe that there's Democrats, non-party preferences, independents that would actually like our values because we're not all the way to the right. We're not in the left. We're actually conservative, real conservative people like the old JFK Democratic Party. Because that's why I always say the new Republican Party is the old JFK Democrat Party. And there's a lot of people that are still voting that way, but don't want to come out and say it because they've been Democrats and they will not change parties because they've been Democrats all their lives. About medical freedom, you have the freedom to choose what doctors, what insurance, what hospital will you go to. Okay, that's what I thought medical freedom to me was. And I read something, I'm like, that doesn't sound like medical freedom to me very much. But the reality is we have that. And I know people are out there fighting and campaigning on it. And when I become governor, that stays the same to me. I think the parents have the right to choose whether kids have a vaccination or not. I believe that you have the right to choose whether you put a vaccination in you for COVID-19 or not. And I also believe that you have the right to wear a mask or not wear a mask. That is your choice. And I will do something that I heard a candidate said they wouldn't. I will get involved with your local communities, with your local counties, and I will not allow them to keep giving you a shot or you lose your job. I will not have them do any mask mandates. That is not right. I will stand in between them and us and our freedoms, because guess what? It is our freedom to be able to choose whether we want to wear a mask or whether we don't. It's our freedom to know if we want to put a vaccination in our body or not. That shouldn't be a cost for employment, because if that was a case for employment, they should have done that when you got hired, not now. When the vaccination, if you're vaccinated, it doesn't really protect you from getting COVID. It helps you fight COVID. So why would you get it beforehand? Why would you go out and get a shot now that's going to protect you if you get COVID? Wouldn't it make more sense to get the shot when you got COVID to help you get better? Just my 2 cents of that. And you guys are more than willing to input on this, because that's how I feel about that. I've been watching a lot of stuff. I've been reading a lot of stuff, and it's insane. I asked this the other day. We were in a different program, and I said, if Donald Trump was still president of the United States, how many of us on the right, conservative people, Trump supporters, would have our vaccination right now? Would Trump have shoved this down our throats? Because I remember the left saying, there's no way they're getting Trump shot. There's no way they're doing this. And now that's what most conservative people are saying. We're not getting a shot. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. I'll say this. My beliefs is that everybody has a choice. I think we need to exercise our choice and our freedoms. I also believe that we're losing our freedoms every day. If we don't start fighting for our freedoms a little bit harder, we won't have them anymore. Career politicians are great. They're rhinos. They're time to go. People get upset at me when I call out Kevin McCarthy. People get upset with me when I call Nunes, Tom McClintock, Valaderos, Little Kim, Mike Gonzalez. The reason I'm naming out those people is because they're your Republican. They are your Republican representation that we hired, that we elected, that we expect to support us. And we could go down the right, because there's a lot more that are in office. Galileo, everybody knows him. He actually helped sue Gavin Newsom. Bigelow, up in my area, he's the assemblyman, if you guys didn't know that. And the list goes on. Yet, publicly, we haven't seen not one of them come out and endorse a yes on the recall. Yeah, we're watching the Democrat side get together, band together, and say no on the recall. Why is this happening? Where is our representation? I called out Kevin McCarthy the other day because he was over in Florida. And don't get me wrong, I like Ron DeSantis, but I like California better. So what are you doing in Florida when California, first of all, is burning down? Second of all, needs your help for the recall to stand behind the California people and quit being a damn rhino. Because that's all you guys are. You guys are all rhinos. You guys haven't stood up for us. Yet you guys want us to keep paying your salaries. What is wrong with you? Why aren't you guys out here? Why aren't you spending the campaign money that you have for ads to support a recall? Do you guys understand how important this recall is? Do you understand what we could do with a solid, good recall in the state of California? Nancy Pelosi is involved. Here, you guys want to talk about Democrats? Schumer, Pelosi, Kamala Harris. Sleepy Joe came out of his ice cream cellar to say no on the recall. Come on. Pocahontas is up north where the fires are doing smoke signals telling us no on the recall. Yet we have zero. Not one. Not even one legislator, congressman, assemblyman out here fighting for us. And these are the people we hired. These are the people we hired. And you don't have one of them. Not one. Out here fighting for yes on the recall. What are you scared about? We hired you. We'll rehire you if you stand with us. But what you're showing the California people is that maybe Caitlyn Jenner should be in Washington, D.C. Because she has a set of huevos and you guys don't. Maybe you guys need to borrow them from her. Because you guys are letting the California people down. You guys want to come out here and endorse a candidate, but you can't endorse the recall? Seen pictures of Nancy Pelosi at a big fundraiser and everything. Everyone no mask, right? They're doing it, but we have to follow their lead. And guess what? The problem is that where's the Republican Party during this? I like Matt Gaetz. He has a big mouth, but where are you? You guys get involved in everything else. You can come to California and fundraise and take our money, but you can't stand behind California people. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I like you too. I think you're overspoken. I think that you're headstrong. I think that you're a hell of a Republican. But you can also come to California and take our fundraising money, but you can't come here and defend us. And you can't come here and stand with us when it counts. So we're only good for you guys to take our money. We're not good for you guys to stand behind the California people. And if somebody's getting offended because I'm calling out your representation, don't care. It's the truth. Show me different. Write them a letter. Call them. Tell them to damn show up. Tell them to come over here and save the state that actually pays their wages every month and every week, and it allows them to hit those millions of dollars that they have and those big houses and everything else that they're living off the sweat and tear off our backs. Because guess what? They are failing us. Somebody made a comment the other day, and I think it should go. We should just start calling ourselves the Rhino Party. And conservative people should be Republicans. But everybody who we have in office right now, guess what? They're rhinos. I said it. I don't give a damn. You want to get one of them? You want to tell them I'm calling them a rhino? Forward them my video. Maybe they'll listen to us a little bit. Maybe somebody needs to tell them that we pay them to do a damn job and they're not doing it. And maybe they should get their asses over here and actually start fighting for the rights of California. Because if you could turn California red, that helps you on your electoral votes. That also helps you in your presidential races. That helps us like the right judges. That helps us change the state around. That puts the economy back into the state. That lowers our taxes. That brings jobs back. That helps clean up the homeless. That gets our water problem solved. But guess what? They're too busy promising you everything when they're running for office, but when it's time to pay up, they don't even show up. Yet when they want to fundraise, they know where we're at. And yeah, I'm calling out Taylor Greene and I'm calling out Matt Gaetz. Why? Because they were both here in California collecting our California dollars a few months ago in LA area where they got kicked out of 4 or 5 places, but they had to go on the beach. Our money was good for them, but we're not good enough for them to come over here and just say simple, vote yes on the recall. Kevin McCarthy, get the hell out of Florida. Nobody's paying you to get a tan, brother. You want a tan, come to California. Come to Bakersfield. It's hot there. You'll get a tan in a couple days. Stop muddling in other states. Start taking care of our state. Because that's what we don't have. We don't have the right representation. And if you're an assemblyman, you should get your ass out here too, because this is your state and you're working with these people and you guys are the problem. I will give this to Kevin Kiley. You actually said something right, brother, that I agree with you. Kevin Kiley said, our governor and our legislation has failed us. I agree with you, Kevin. But guess what, Kevin? You are the legislation. So you have failed us just like everybody else has. We have to change California. And if you guys think career politicians or these puppets are going to do it, you're wrong. We're going to do it. Normal, everyday, working, blue-collar people who pay taxes, who break our backs to have a better living, who want better housing, who want affordable housing, who wants affordable health insurance. I see somebody here saying we want Trump back. The reality is Trump still has power. Where's he at with the recall? Why hasn't he been here? Why hasn't one of his kids been here? Why didn't Trump fight for California when he was running for governor? Why didn't he show up and do more rallies in California like he did everywhere else? Stop depending on people who are in office. Start depending on ourselves. Because people in office don't give a rat's ass about us. They don't care. If this isn't enough for you guys to know, I don't know what will ever be. Because California is a blue state. Says who's blue? Who says California's blue? Because I went up and down California and the damn Trump rallies that we had, the people out there showing up, the conservative people who are fed up. This isn't about red or blue. Both parties have failed us people. Both parties have failed the California people and the United States people. That's the bottom line. It is time to take our state back for the people of California, not for one party or the other. So don't give me the state as blue. The state is blue because they have allowed it. Because nobody comes here to defend our state. And it is time that we stand together and actually make our voices be heard. Make it be heard in Sacramento. Make it be heard in Washington. Make sure that California gets back on the map till we matter to people. Here's the worst part. Joe Biden won California. How many rallies did he have here? How many rallies did Joe Biden have here? They take California for granted. They call us forgotten. They don't want to come out here and do anything for California. So it's time the California people got together and we do it ourselves. We get the right people in there. If I get elected in office and with your help I can, because it's a guy, girl, it's going to be the candidate who has the most votes. That means 2% plus one person, we win. We get in office. We come back. We help other conservative people just like myself, grassroots candidates, get in office. Forget about the money and forget about the name recognition, because that's what got us in the problem that we're in. We all know Kevin McCarthy, right? Where is he? We all know Dennis Nunes, if you're down towards the Fresno area. Where is he? Valadeos, the guy who actually voted to impeach Trump. We all know him. Where is he? This is all what's going on in our state right now. We elected these people and they have failed us. We have another question about forced vaccinations. Back to that. I think this whole thing's been about forced vaccinations today. I disagree with forced vaccination. I will get away from all those mandates, mass mandates, vaccination mandates. I'm actually going to give the authority and the power back to the parents to choose whether they want their children to have vaccination to go to school or not. I think as parents, we know our kids better than some school district that never met them. I was going to join you for questions, but I don't know how to get on. Let me see. You are not on here for some reason. Let me see your viewers. There should be a little box at the bottom of your screen with it's like a little guy and then like a little square with like a picture frame with a little guy. See if you can push that. That should allow you to come on Facebook. On Instagram, you push the camera and that allows you to come on. So, or you could go on Instagram. I'm on there right now too. We're doing both if you have Instagram. Diego Martinez for governor. We could talk about electric cars here just a little bit too. We're talking about not everybody can afford electric cars. Electric cars are crazy. They're going through the roof. Kind of funny how all of a sudden we have to have electric cars, but we can't even keep the power on our houses. What's going to happen? I'm actually against that. I'm actually for keeping gas vehicles around. I think that we need one more source of power. I think not just one power, but more sources of power is what we need. I don't think that one is enough for what we want to do in the state of California, because we got way too many people here. Electric cars sound really cool. The problem is your PG&E bill will go up, so you're going to have to go to solar in your house. You're going to have to charge them by solar, and you're going to have to hope that you're charged up if an emergency happens at your house and there's no power. Those are the bad things about electric cars. I don't think everybody's thought this all the way through. We have other stuff such as biofuel coming out. It's already out, but we need to more mainstream it. We need to actually do our parts at home to be able to do it. We can help at home with our environment, which biofuel is a good thing because our environmentalists, people who are worried about our environment, will be able to do that. So we can actually work with biofuel because there's a system coming out. Prototype's almost here. I can't wait to see it. It actually takes your household oil, you dump it in your sink, it pulls it apart, you wrap it up, and you put it in a recycling bin. Just like you do your recycling now, except this will be for your oils. So you don't have to worry about where they go. They won't go in a lime mill, and they'll actually get turned around to be biofuel, which will help. And it's a lower cost, and it runs cleaner than most of the stuff that we're using now. I also believe that we do need to do offshore drilling. I think that it's a proven concept that can be done right, and that's actually an executive order that Governor Brown signed, which I can go ahead and overturn that because it's an executive order, and we can start some of that coming back because we need jobs, guys. The reality is we need jobs in the state of California. We need people working. We need to get back on our own. We need California to be self-sustained. We talked a little bit about water earlier and what we're going to do. We know that once I start talking about the water rights and everything else, and I try to change anything, I'm going to get taken to court. During that time, which is going to be about a year before that case even sees the court, the way things will go slow, we're actually going to work with the private sector that own desalination plants, which will also be able to create more electricity and more energy for us because desalination plants take a lot of energy. So we could get nuclear and things like that going with them. But we are going to buy the water from the desalination plants, dump them back in our reservoirs. So we have water right now while we go to court and hassle and debate, and you could call it debate, legislates really what it is, about the water rights and getting the Central Valley and our farmers the water that they need, but most of all getting Mendocino County and the small counties that are running out of water right now, the water that they deserve and that they need just to make their daily living. So we have a lot of work. Like I said earlier, I can veto just about anything. We're only going to have probably about 4 things that we're going to get done out of the 10 that I want to get done in the first 13 months. But I think if we make it through the first 13 months and we get 4 things done, that's a huge accomplishment. Not only is that an accomplishment, but it also moves us into 2022, where more people will see that we are about the people of California. So we'll actually be able to get some more help and some more votes coming in for 2022. They have completely drained the Oroville Dam. It's crazy. And that's what we were talking about. That's why our quickest revenue and our quickest source to get water back into here is working with the private sector and getting desalination going again. That is the best way and the quickest way to get water back into our reservoirs and fill them back up and get them up to legislation, and we fight this in court so that everybody has the right water rights. Right? Because they're talking about a Delta tunnel. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that. It's basically running water underneath to preserve some of the stuff. But right now, I think we need to get our dams and our reservoirs filled back up. Anybody have a better idea, you're more than welcome to tell me. I've looked and looked and looked and looked. And the best way to do this and actually get water in there, we can have desalination running within a week. Yeah, and it's just a matter of talking to the owners of desalination plants and working out a deal with them to start pumping water in. Crying about the water levels rising, so let's start. And that's what we have to do. And the reason the water levels are racing is because we keep dumping our water into the ocean. So, yeah, of course it's going to race, right? But if you guys go on my Facebook, if you guys go on my Instagram, you guys can see pictures. I pass Maloney's every day, and you can see how it tears down and how low it is right now, where there's actually an Iceland in the middle right now that's never really there when there's water full. So we have a water problem, and it's a man-made water problem, and we have to fix. We have fish hatcheries replenishing any fish, and I've said that before too. We could take the little guppy fish that they keep talking about, the Delta snout, pull it out of there, pull enough to actually rebreed them in like a koi farm or a trout farm, and let them rebreed and then let them back out. But we cannot stop humanity over it, and that's exactly what we're doing. We talk about a lot of problems, but nobody really knows what they really are because they never really go there and see them. That's one thing that I've been trying to show you guys in pictures and stuff of what's going on, so people can actually see what the real problems are. I have some pictures on all my social media right now talking about what the wildfires are and what they're doing. Sorry guys, the sun's kind of blaring right now. Let's see if we can turn these things around a little bit. That's gonna be worse. Let's try to go. There you go. See, no, I gotta be here like that, so maybe I gotta go here like that. There we go. That should work just a little bit better. Got a few more minutes here because I got to get going today. Got an appointment at 10 o'clock, so I hopped on a little bit early to try to get this done. Remember this. Yes on the recall is the most important question you're going to answer. And after that, please pick your best candidate, because one vote can make the difference in this election. One vote. That's all it takes to win. One vote. One vote more than everybody else. I'm going to send a quick shout out before I leave. I'm actually going to get off here in a few seconds. Let's see. She's trying to get on. Let me see. Let's see. For about 3-4 minutes because I got to get out of here. But while I'm waiting for them to get on, I want to say thank you. Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Diego Martinez, how are you doing this morning?
Yes. Sean, how you doing, buddy?
Well, hey, I had a question for you, seeing as you are a viable candidate for governor and the only true conservative that I've seen out there with the people daily. Like, I follow you heavy, and you are out there every day without a break. All right, I'm a construction worker, union by trade, and I work in the refineries here in the Bay Area. Now, it concerns me that we had a surplus of oil in 2019 to 2020, yet Joe Biden and Gavin Newsom took it upon themselves to start closing down refineries here in the Bay Area. Okay, we shut down Tesoro, which is a big refinery. We just built a coker plant in 2007, and why is it getting shut down now is beyond me. We're putting out so many construction workers, and besides that, our union is so corrupt and in bed with the Democratic Party. It's sick. They'll have us vote Democrat, even if it means cutting our own throat, which it has. We've lost countless construction jobs. I mean, everything is ran with crude oil, from your asphalt to your plastics to everything we use. So I'm just very concerned as my future as a construction hand and many brothers that I know in this state. We have families to support. And where do we lie with opening these back up? Sorry to take your time.
Well, with me in the office, we're going to open everything back up. We're going to actually create more jobs here.
Okay.
So construction workers, anybody who's doing any labor kind of work, whether you're in the Local 3, which is operators, engineers, or the laborers union or a carpenters union, you're actually going to have more work because we're going to open up California for work. Right. I believe that fracking needs to keep going. I think that we need to produce our own oil. I just talked about offshore drilling, which in the coast of California, which will be our own oil. Well, we got to bring them back over here to our refineries and get them going again. I also know that there's PG&E plants that are getting shut down. Electric plants are getting shut down right now. There's 2 of them down in the Southern California that are due to get shut down this year and next year. We can't do that. We need power. We need different sources, and we got to quit being dependent on other countries to supply us with the stuff. The problem is that our politicians are in every other country's pocket other than the people who are actually paying their wages, which is the American people. Right. And we have a serious problem, whether it's Sacramento or Washington, D.C., of that happening, and we're getting sold out. I said this the other day. The reason our properties are going so high right now is because China is buying our Bay Area land, and they'll pay any price because they don't care. What they're going to do is buy California out, and that's all they're doing, and we're allowing it. When I become governor, you will not actually be able to buy any portion of California unless you've been a resident of the United States, or you live here, or you did something. Otherwise, you cannot. You cannot just come from another country today.
With that being said,
you can't come.
How about the anchor babies? How about those that were born here in San Francisco? Because this was a big problem about a decade ago, where they were finding out in the city that they were coming over from China, having babies here in the United States and going back to China so they can get dual citizenship. Now, these aren't real Americans, are they? Or are they? See, there's a gray line there. So that, with that being said, they've been doing that in our Bay Area for years, and that's also.
And a lot of people know that a lot of people don't know that Chinese people do that. And I'm not picking on any race or anything.
No, it's smart.
Race,
I would do it too. It's smart.
But they come here, they have a baby, and then they get dual citizens. Well, under the new immigration reform program that I do, that program will be over. Because if you're in the military, okay, think about this. If you're in the military and you have a kid in Japan, you and your wife have a kid in Japan, that kid's actually an American citizen because his parents are American citizen because they're over there for that. Why is it that we're the only country that allows a child to be born here and become a citizen, not follow the heritage of the parents? That's something that got twisted around a long time ago that needs to be addressed, that needs to be refixed.
So
that's
what
a
that
federal
does is
law
that
that we
destabilizes our university systems, because these kids come back to America and they get full carte blanche on our universities, where us who have been living here and we're not of an ethnicity minority, excuse my French, I'm not putting anybody down, but it's just that you get a better advantage to our school systems than those of us who have been here putting blood, sweat, and tears. Like, I don't even know if I can afford to send my kids to college. With that being said, it's a unfortunate situation, but.
well, that's a federal issue that we have to address. But I think fixing the California, reforming the California immigration system will carry over to other states, and other states then it'll become a federal thing. And when it comes to that level, then we can argue and dispute exactly what you're talking about, because the laws on immigration really need to be looked at.
They're very good.
Because I was talking to somebody the other day, they said, deport everybody, deport everybody, deport everybody. You can't deport everybody. First of all, you're going to kill the California economy. Second of all, there are people who are actually here, that were born here, that have families that are illegal. So if you take the mom, well, the kid will go. Well, you can't kick a U.S. citizen out of here. So there's a lot of laws that need to get looked at and get switched, but we need to do something right now. Like I said, an immigration reform program for the state of California, let everybody else follow. And once that happens, then we legislate it with the federal government and get the right one for everybody in California, so everybody can have a fair opportunity in the United States. That being said, it's something that we got to look at, we got to work on. I hate to do this, but I got to get out of here. I got a meeting I got to be at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Diego,
Sean,
for your time, my brother.
Sean represents the fed up, like most of us are, fed up with the state of California and the legislation. And if you're fed up with Gavin Newsom, vote yes on the recall. Vote Diego Martinez for governor. We'll keep you guys updated on everything that's going on. I got a quick shout out to the guys at CNC Motorsports out of LA. They just sent me my new seat for my bike. I can't wait to put it on this afternoon when I get home. When I get it out there, guys, do great work. If you guys look for any custom work on your motorcycles, CMC Motorsports, Whittier, California. So if you're from California, you want accessories for your motorcycle, one of the best places to go. They do all the custom stuff for you. Don't forget, yes on the recall. This weekend, Friday night, I'll be up in Humboldt County. So if you guys are up in Humboldt, come see me from 5 to 7. Also, I will be in Salinas Sunday from 1 in the afternoon to 4. A couple other candidates are going to be there. We have a ring donated from one of the boxing places there that actually holding on by thins right now. We want to support them and show them our gratitude. So if you guys are in Salinas, Monterey, Santa Cruz area, trying to think Hollister, Castro Valley, anything right out around that area, come out, come take a look at us. Me and a couple other candidates will be out there meeting people. We're going to have a small debate. Afterwards, they're talking about having a bonfire. It's kind of like a kickback kind of thing. So don't expect me in a shirt and tie because it won't happen. I'm actually going to ride Hollister. Power Sports is another great place. They are actually, I like going to Hollister Power Sports also when they have the Hollister run up there. So actually always going to be out there. You guys got a box? I don't think Daniel Murky wants to take me on, bro. You know what? I asked the same question, but they said no. Have you ever came down to Kings County? I have, and I am more than happy to go down there. We're actually going to set up something over here in Kings County to be out there again. I'm going to try to make my rounds before the 14th of September, and we're going to keep going strong, guys. I appreciate all of you guys coming on today, joining me. Please like and share my videos. Get my name out there. Also, if you find it in you and you can, please help me in my campaign. Go to DiegoMartinezForGovernor.com. Please hit the donate button. Every little bit helps, especially when you're self-funding this. God bless you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys on